What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Early Red. You're now officially tuned in to Red TV with myself and my guest today, Rebecca Lauren, in the building. Shout out to Rebecca. How you doing today, Rebecca?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, good. Where are we coming from today?
Oh, man, we're coming all the way from Virginia today.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a trip. New York?
Yes.
She's traveling. She's moving.
Yeah, you gotta do that, gotta do that.
So how was your day? How was your ride getting here and everything?
The ride getting here was actually smooth. You know, there was a lot of traffic, as always, but it was actually pretty smooth. We didn't have any sudden stops or anything, so just kept straight on through.
So how is it in Virginia? How is the music scene out there? How are things going for you?
And Virginia is interesting because it's really chill, but it's a lot of artists who are hidden, so it's a lot of jewels that you find out there. And everybody's just their own artist. So it's been really cool for me with having, you know, a sense of a space of my own. So it's like I have more space to move around and be myself. Okay. And when I do go out and do my shows, people love it. You know, like they accept me, and it's also home for me too. So it's been interesting. I've grown there a lot. Okay. So yeah.
Well, where are you originally from? Are you originally from Virginia?
I am originally from Virginia. I'm from Woodbridge, Virginia. So yeah, so that's where I'm from, and yeah.
And let everybody know what type of artist you are, because I bet they're waiting to hear that. Here we go for the long title, everybody. Long title.
Well, the type of artist that I am, I'm an R&B artist, but I actually like to stick to more of the alternative side. I do all different styles, pop, hip hop, of course, but I also like to mix in a little rock. I like to mix in a little country every now and then. And so I like to think of myself as more of a universal artist, but I'm also trained in like opera and everything else. So I actually do.
I was reading the resume, y'all.
Yeah, you read the resume.
I was reading the resume.
Yeah, no, I do. I very much fuse all of those musical experiences that I've had in trainings into all of my music. So I do like to see myself as a universal artist.
Yes, versatile, universal, definitely, you know, is the way to go. And you know me, and that's how I feel when it comes to music. You know, to find yourself and, you know, to really build and know who you are first, you know, you kind of have to get the feel of that.
I agree with that 100%. Yeah.
So what do we have as far as, you know, yourself? Where can people find you? What projects do you have coming up?
Oh man, I got a lot of stuff coming up. But you can find me actually on Instagram. Instagram is where I update a lot of things, even on Facebook. But on Instagram, it's r.l_music. That's what you guys used to call me for the longest.
Follow.
Yeah.
Don't be disappointed.
I'm actually working on my next project, Intoxication, at the moment, which is like part 2. For my first album, which was Sober. And in the midst of actually working on Intoxication, I'm actually reproducing my own version of Sober, which was the original version of Sober. So there's so much going on right now. But it's a lot of growth that I've really come into as an artist. Like, I hear things very differently. So I've been going back to a lot of old tracks and just recreating them. And it's been awesome. I can't wait to share it, because there's a lot of good music that's going on.
So let's talk about Sober, since that's out, you know, now. And for those of, you know, that haven't heard it yet, tell me why you chose the name Sober.
Wow, there's really a story behind Sober. I went through a very low point in my life right around the time when I came out with the concept of the album. And I went to California, and everybody was like, you seem very sober. And all of a sudden it was like, that's what I'm going to do the project, because it was already something that was in motion, but it was like trying to get the title and the vision for it, and it just all clicked, and that was about 2 or 3 years ago. So Sober is actually really about just coming to a sobering point in life and just finding yourself, really.
Okay, so we have Sober, and then we have Intoxication next? Intoxication next?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're sober, and now we're intoxicated. So tell me a little bit, just a little blurb.
Well, Intoxication, that's going to be more like a dance type of album, but R&B feel, of course. But Intoxication is more so me telling you the story of being under certain influences of people, of certain influences of my emotions, and just basically just being intoxicated with the lows of life, not realizing you're on that fast track down in a lot of ways. So
sometimes you kind of need, you know, as an artist, I know, you know, you got to slow down a little bit, you got to speed up a little bit. Like, you kind of have to build that balance. And that's where I go back to kind of knowing yourself, you know, as an artist. You kind of got to know how to juggle that. Okay, so we have Sober. Intoxication. So tell me, what do you have upcoming as far as shows, things like that? Where can people find you if they want to see you perform?
Well, I've been actually getting booked a lot in New York. I'm actually doing a show in June 23rd. It's going to be actually here in New York. It's called The Mic Is Open. And just keep a look on my post on Instagram, because I actually will be posting the flyer and everything for that. So that the location will be on that as well. But also in July, I'm doing the Voiceless Palooza. And that's July July 28th, and that's a big event. So that's going to be at the Melrose Ballroom, and that's going to be major. So I'm really excited about that.
Congratulations! I didn't know about that. Congratulations.
So just keep a lookout for the post, because I'm really excited, and I have a lot of other shows coming up even in August as well. That's going to be around the DMV, but also here in New York as well.
Nice. So nice. Okay, so we know Rebecca Lauren. Definitely in the building. She's an artist, but an R&B artist, but you also hold many other hats, and there's a lot of other things that are going on that I feel like, maybe people should know, because like I said, going back to the versatile thing, you could be an artist, you could sing, you could rap, but what else,
Man, I'm a songwriter. First and foremost, I'm a songwriter, a producer, and a composer, a pianist, and a guitarist. So I do a lot of different things.
I've seen those videos.
But such as production and everything, it's kind of funny. All of it I've always done all at once, and it's always been a collective growth. One thing didn't grow without the other growing. So songwriting, like I remember when I was like 12, and I used to tinker on like my little keyboard that I had before I even knew how to like read music, because I actually taught myself technically how to play guitar and even how to play piano. It wasn't until like college where I actually like learned the full-on instruments. But songwriting, I love to write songs. I write songs for other artists. I'm currently, in the process of writing for another artist at the moment in California. Nice. Yeah, so it's a lot of stuff I'm doing.
Nice, working.
Yeah. So I'm working.
And we also have something else special that you also developed yourself. Can you just share with them, as far as labels, things like that?
Yeah, actually, so I created a label which is now titled Soundproof 4. But prior to that, it was actually called Lions Drum Productions. And it was always a vision that I had where artists could come and they could be themselves, and where there was nothing of them having to be somebody else, or, just in the sense of marketing, where a lot of people don't realize people actually buy you. Like, people love you for who you are a lot of times. Like, I never forget when I saw Oprah when she said she was her own brand. People said she was like a brand, and she was like, wait, I'm just me. So when I saw that, I noticed that that's not as, true for a lot of artists. So it's just something about being your authentic self. Like, when you get the authentic artist, you get phenomenal music.
Exactly.
So that's really what I'm aiming for, is to create a, authentic sense of artist.
Yes, and I agree. That's definitely something, people should definitely get involved with. And, and different types of artists I'm sure you're dealing with as well. Like, what type of artists would you say? Do you have anybody currently under besides yourself right now?
There's one actually particular artist who I'm working with, and she's actually still in the trainings, but she's music theater, she's everything. I mean, she's major voice, but she's also kind of on the streams of like punk, R&B, soul.
Okay. Oh,
so it's what I'm saying. So it's like actual like authentic artists who like I'm actually really working with.
Good. So you're really helping them grow and actually, like we said, develop and see their fit. Yeah. Because I do the promotions marketing thing, and I feel like a lot of artists, even still, like, you could be doing it 10, 15, 20 years, and there's a lot of people that still don't know, themselves, or like where to go. Is there any advice or anything that you could give them, just because of all the titles that you do hold, for yourself? Is there anything that maybe you could share with them that might help them?
Click into what you love. Honestly, when you keep doing what you love and you just keep working and working and working, you'd be surprised how you find yourself. Like, even like my whole thing was I grew up watching Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson.
I think we all did.
Yeah. I mean, we did. Prince and like all the majors. But I actually found how they were so authentic in themselves, and they weren't afraid to be themselves. But yet they were still influenced by major artists like James Brown and all these other phenomenal artists. And it's like, you could be influenced, but what about you? Do you bring unique to these artists? So it's really to question yourself, what can you bring to the scene that's not out here? And you'd be surprised at how you find yourself in the midst of all that. So just stay true to yourself, stick to what you love doing, don't try to do anything different, don't try to do what you hear on the radio. I mean, I went through a season where I actually turned off the radio and I was just creating what I heard for myself, and that's how I developed my sound.
Good idea.
Yeah, so bro,
good idea. Yeah. That's the only way you're gonna learn it.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, what else would you say, I mean, even if it's not music involved, like what else, or what are a few things that inspire you or just help you go about your day to kind of, get into the vibe, To get into the vibe. People, really. It's just the thing of, it's not about me. It really is about what I'm doing, what my music is, and not even just my music, but me as a person. Like more for the people type of thing? Yeah, like how they can relate?
Yeah, like a service. Everything that we do is a service. Like, how can I make, even my Mother's Day better today? How can I make the people, who I encounter every day, how can I make their days better? Just a simple hello, a simple smile. Like, just a sense of you yourself, just by simply being you and being kind, you can actually make a difference in somebody's life just for that millisecond of that encounter.
Yeah, if you need a mentor. She can help you out too.
Buddy, man.
But So what else do you have going on? You tell me.
Oh man, what I got going on? I got a lot. I mean, I'm working on my album. To be honest, I'm just focused on my album. I'm focused on kind of like, I guess I'm in a sense of like recreating myself in a lot of ways too, but I'm really not recreating. It's just more so focusing on the branding and just marketing. You know, like just.
Do you feel like you like juggling everything kind of at once, multitasking, or you kind of like to start, finish, then move on to the next?
I like to start, finish, and move on to the next, but it kind of all hits you
hard,
at
right?
one time. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it kind of hits you like a ton of bricks. But I'm learning you have to pace yourself and patience. So I mean, if anything,
Without losing opportunity. Right?
Yeah, and that's the thing.
That's the big thing.
Yeah. So I've been learning that, you know, the door is open. You just got to walk through it. And every door that you knock on, like, you'd be surprised at how many people will say yes and how many people say no. Who cares? Just keep going. So if anything, I'm just working on being a better artist, being a better person in this world, and just doing what I love doing.
I mean, I know the music out there right now is a little crazy and everything, but is there anyone that you could say that is new and relevant right now that would inspire you? If there is any, even if it's one.
I'm trying to think.
I mean, you could take it back because, you know.
I mean, I love all artists. To be honest, I guess it doesn't matter what genre at all. I would be honest and say Cardi B. I'm going to be real. I do respect her. I mean, she's just being herself.
Yes.
She brings such an energy and a vibe. I mean, it's crazy how when I listen to her music, she reminds me of the 90s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
she
I
does.
feel like I'm a kid back in the 90s and, like, in the summertime. Like, her music brings such a feel. So I think, if anything, I just really, like, respect her authentic self and just be you regardless.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people do judge, you know, especially, I mean, everybody does. But in a different light where, you know, they're not seeing really how she really got on, you know, her platform. I mean, yeah, we know she was in the strip clubs doing her thing, whatever, but
it's true.
I mean, I feel personally it was more her voice and her character and, you know, that kind of developed, you know, the person that, you know, she became. And then it helps out, like you said, with the people.
Yeah,
you know,
I
then you
mean,
can relate.
that's the thing, in
and
spite
then
of.
people start feeling your music, and there you go.
You
That's
never
how
know.
it works.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, so yeah.
But just one more time, if you could just let everybody know where to find you, events, you know, one more time, you know, where you'll be.
Totally. You can find me on Instagram, r.l_music. Again, r.l_music. And you can also find me on Facebook. And the way to spell my name is Rebekah, R-E-B-E-K-A-H, and Lauren, L-A-U-R'_E-N. That's how you spell my name.
Yeah.
But definitely keep an eye out for my posts. I'm for sure going to be posting all about the events that are coming up. So yes.
Yes, and I'm definitely looking forward to those dates as well.
Yeah, I know,
Hopefully being in
right?
attendance.
Yeah, of course.
You know, we all got a lot going on, but I definitely appreciate you for coming tonight. And, you know, hope to have you back and just, you know, once the new album is out and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully you come and sing a little bit, you know, share with us.
I'll come sing a little something.
Yeah, share with us a little bit what's going on. But, you know, until next time, that's our time. All right, we got Rebekah Lauren, Red TV.
Welcome to Model Talk with your host, Vero G. We have an amazing show for you guys tonight. We have an amazing friend of mine and fashion designer, La Rocata. I hope I said that right.
It's Lara Calta.
I see, I always say Spanish.
But I like the twist.
Okay, I'll put a little Spanish in there.
Love it.
I think I do try. Yes. So we have an amazing show for you guys tonight. Plus, we have two beautiful models of hers. Can you let them know what their brand, the name of the? I want to make sure I get it right. Your brand, your production.
My production is called Tales of the Runway.
Yes.
And I am a fashion designer, and the name of my collection is called Lara Calta.
That's right.
Yes.
So stay tuned. We got more for you guys. All right, so here we are again with the amazing and beautiful fashion designer.
Hi.
Yes.
Veronica.
You're welcome. I'm going to say it again in Spanish, so I'm sorry. La Rocata. I'm making it Italian and beautiful. How are we going to sing along with that, right?
No, I like it. I love it.
Thank you, my love. Thank you. Yeah, so we can have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
Definitely. Okay, so here we go. So where did you start your desire as a fashion designer? What would you start with that?
Well, I started my desire to become a fashion designer started when I was probably in my teens. I have my aunt who was very stylish, and I used to always love the way she dressed. And I used to sketch Well, actually, I am a sketcher, so I basically used to sketch a lot of clothing, and my family used to be like, you should go into fashion. And I said, you know, you're right. But I used to like to buy a lot of different fashion magazines, and one of my favorite ones was the Elle magazine. And I used to love to look at the pictures. I used to try to sketch little ideas from the trends that was in the magazine. Yes. And that's basically how I got started, and I decided to relocate to follow my passion, which is fashion design.
Amazing. That's beautiful. That's
yes.
beautiful. Well, I have another question. I think we mentioned this before, but I'll mention to those who don't know. Right. What was your inspiration to become a designer?
My inspiration to become a designer was basically, as I said, looking in the Elle magazines and seeing that I could thought of to myself that I could do that I could design clothes, that I can, you know, have a production company, and also have models walk in my clothes. So that was basically my biggest inspiration.
How about that movie you talked about before last time?
Oh, and one of my favorites. I do apologize.
It's okay.
Diana Ross. I love her to the death of me. And one of my favorite movies of hers was Mahogany. And in Mahogany, she played as a model. And that was another one of my big inspirations to becoming a designer.
Amazing. Yes. And I love that movie, by the way. Classic all time.
Classic, classic, classic.
Come on. It's
if you have not watched it, watch it.
Yes. It's a 70s, I know. No, my other question for you, of course, is what are your inspirations for each of your collections?
My inspiration from each of my collections, basically, I'm a cocktail dress designer. So I like to design trendy, sexy dresses and after 5 looks. So I put cocktail in there because my motto is every woman deserves a cocktail. So that is the motto behind my collection. So as you notice, later you'll see just a few pieces. And I kind of describe my pieces behind sexy drinks.
I like that. How about the margarita one? I would love to see that one.
I have a red margarita dress.
Ooh, that sounds good. If you could hook me up with that, I'll wear that anytime. Trust me.
I got you, Veronica. I got you.
Oh, now we're talking. Next time you see you, I'll be like, all red and sexy now. Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely. We start now. Okay. So my next question for you, of course, is how long have you been a designer?
I've been a designer over 10 years. I went to school for fashion design and merchandising, and I've met a lot of people, a lot of friends in this industry and in this market, and here I am today. Awesome. I'm a struggling designer.
Oh, but you're making it. That's amazing.
I'm making it though, yes.
Definitely, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Stop this. Let me stop now. Okay. So my other question for you is do you on your collection? Do you have for all shapes and sizes, or are you going to work on that down in the future?
Well, I do custom designing. So if a client comes to me in example, a plus size model or plus size client, I will make garments for the client, but when I'm doing fashion shows, it's basically petite sizes.
Okay, great.
But I will dedicate to plus size, don't get me wrong.
That's right, girl. Watch out, she's coming out for you guys now.
That's right.
Definitely. Okay, so any upcoming fashion shows you have?
I do have an upcoming fashion show, July 14th. It's called Resort and Swim. We just previously had an event called Models vs. Fashion in March, which was March the 22nd. So this is the next event that we have, and it's going to be very, very amazing. And have you ever walked on water?
No, not that I know of. Not yet.
Well, you'll see what you can do on July 14th.
Ooh, that is very interesting, though. Interesting.
Thank you.
You're welcome, definitely. Do you have any work of yours in any publications and magazines?
I do have one publication magazine. I have 2 publication magazines. I take that back. One was with KDC magazine, and I had another publishing magazine with Black Hair magazine. Okay. And a couple of the models model for me also that was featured in those magazines with me at some of my fashion shows.
Awesome. So my last question for you.
Yes.
What is your social media? Where can people find you?
They can find me on Facebook. It is Lelee, L-E-E, Lara Colta, Laroccolta. They can find me on Instagram, Lelee Lara Colta. And also on Instagram, Touche Runway Modeling and Tales of the Runway is also on Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. All right, guys, so stay tuned. We're going to have these beautiful 2 models representing Miss Lara Colta soon, and we'll be out shortly, guys. Hey guys, welcome to Model Talk with your host Vero G and the amazing, beautiful designer with me on my Right, I think no, left. Forgive me, guys. I'm not here.
Your left
Me
side.
left. I'm not good directions. Left here is La Rocata. It's so fancy now.
Hi.
Yes. So we can now show the beautiful two models we have here, representing a beautiful brand and a beautiful collection. So take it away.
Okay, so we have our first model, which is Rizzo. Rizzo is wearing what I call the cocktail sporty look. And with this piece, it's a metallic bronze color. This is kind of reminds you of the golden champagne. And if you see the front of it, it's more like a little cute little simple dress. And if she turns to the back, it gives you a transformation. It's a little short outfit. And this dress here is good for any sporty wear. And still you can rock it after 5 with a night. You can transform it from the heels, from a light pair of heels to a pair of sexy boots. Thank you, Rizzo. And next we're gonna have our next model. And she's wearing what I call the elegant, very trendy piece. This is what I call the after 5. So if you're that type of boss woman, this is for you right here. She's wearing she also has a jacket, and it is a wide waist bell-bottom pants, and then you have the halter halfback top with the wide collar. And again, this is the after 5 look. Thank you, Paulina. And this is my collection, La Recolta. And again, you can find me on Facebook, LAROCCOLTA, and also on the other social media is Instagram.
That was so amazing. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
A pleasure indeed, definitely. And before anything, thank you, models, Rizzo and Paulina. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies.
Okay. Yes. You're all awesome. Thank you. And definitely, again, thank you so much. Designer La Rocata. I got this right.
Yes, I'm gonna have to learn to say La Rocata.
Si.
And again, you can find me on Facebook. That's Lily La Recolta, LAROCCOLTA, and I'm also on Instagram, same name, La Recolta. And also you can find my production, Tales of the Runway, and also Touche Runway Modeling. Thank you again.
Definitely. Thank you, guys. Again, you're at the Model Talk with your host, Vero G. More to come. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Favorite drink, just wanna make up, feeling this summer fling with your head down, relax and sit down, but yet come with me and put your feet up, cause if you riding with me, you got the best seat, looking all so cute with the beach top, let's take a trip now to the beach house, where we can have fun till the sunrise, make memories where we can look back. Let's take a roll and enjoy this ride, love. No rush, no hurries, have no problems and no worries. Staying and singing, this is our summer loving thing. So come on, come on, come on. watch that funny flick. The one you said makes you fall in love real quick. Or look under the stars, make name with your heart and say you are the brightest one. We can go to the sand and make sand castles. Pick up seashells and write our home names. We can lay on the beach as the sun sets. Watch the waves pass by until the sun sets. While I look in your eyes and be so mesmerized upon the beauty that leaves me breathless. Just wanna kiss your lips and never let go of what we have and let it grow. How about we stroll to our usual spot and get our favorite meal? Shrimp, sauce in the bottle with Henny, and the bottle with Henny, and the bottle with Henny. Yeah, yeah. Come on, come on. Yeah. Woo! Round we go. Someone loving's here to stay. Round and round we go. Someone loving's here to stay. Round and round we go. Thank you. Someone loving's here to stay. Round and round we go. Someone loving's here to stay.
This song I got about you. You drive me crazy. Love the way your hair stands, the way your skin touches, the way you look at me. Love everything about you. Everything. Nothing I can't do. Stop loving me. Summer loving. Summer loving.
Yeah.